What's up, everyone? This is James at Locking the Value and Copying My Crypto, talking to you today about the wonderful world of crypto. So let's get in to Chia Network. Now, before I do, as always, the spreadsheets update. These were just the first 26 I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crash it in this bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each one, you'd be in profit for $23,161. That should be red because it's negative. Goddamn grin. Um, so yeah, grin's the one that's down. A few of these, the rest are into projects that are either offer far better opportunities, far better great rates of return, or far better quick flips. Um, so if you want to see the coins that I hold, that's exactly what I share on Copy My Crypto. Perfect for anyone that's new to crypto, and to be honest, it's perfect for anyone that's been in crypto a while, so you can just get a different perspective. So like I say, link is in the description. All right, guys, before I do get into Chia Network, right, we just got to look at Bitcoin at the moment. We are very, 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 very close to this sort of dreaded death cross, but we always have to keep an eye on the markets. Really it looks like realistically we're 3 days out, maybe 2 or 3 days out at the moment for the 200-day to pass for the 50-day to close below the 200-day. We've got to see how that plays out fundamentally because there's only three real variables, and they regard the short-term prospect of the market. The long-term prospects of the market is still sky high. Um, But short term, you might need to make some different decisions in trades, might need to make some different decisions in how you're investing or what you're investing in, what you're in at the moment, and preparations might need to be made. But it's just keeping an eye on it. But there's certainly downward pressure at the moment. Um, so yeah, just keep an eye on it. Right, Chia Network. Now, Chia Network is a very, very interesting project. So first of all, it was created by the man, Blam Cohen, who created um, who created BitTorrent. Right now, if any of you used BitTorrent or know about BitTorrent prior to the BitTorrent coin, you know how innovative and new that was, and how incredible it was for a lot of people that didn't before Netflix and all of these existed. Um, so the guy, he has some serious credentials there just on that. Um, so he's created Chia Network. Now, Chia Network is been around for like 4 years, I want to say. That they've been up and running. I think it was 2017 that the Chia Network actually became a proper network. Why am I moving my face? Um, where is it? Chia Network, Chia Network. Yeah, it was incorporated in August of 2017. And the goal was to develop an improved blockchain and smart transaction platform. Now, the biggest selling point for Chia Network is anyone can do this. If you want to, um, if you want to mine, as it were, or farm, they use the term farm far more rather than mine, but anyone can farm Chia Network because it's based on what's called a proof of space and time mechanism as opposed to proof of stake or as opposed to proof of work. That's a big selling point. I mean, you literally, everything is on the site to set up and download. And, effectively it works on the same base, a very similar basis to what Filecoin has done, right? It's about the allocating effectively spare resources within your computer to farm Chia Network. And there is a lot that is appealing about Chia Network. Now the launch happened. They've been open. The current price point, by the way, is $422.90. And if we actually look at Chia Network, everything obviously in the market has had a bit of a rough ride. Well, a bit of a rough ride. Jesus, that was an understatement. Everything in the market's had a rough ride for the past few months. We're well aware of that. That's not news. Um, And Chia Network, when it actually launched to a hell of a lot of reception from the market. There was quite a bit of hype actually, and its launching point was around there. You go. Launching point was around $1,500, where it peaked at $1,500, and then there was a dump, as there's always a dump, and then it rallied back all the way up to nice all-time high of around there we go, $1,685 with a volume of 466 million. We're now sitting at $423 with a current daily volume of 26 million. Now, part of that volume drop is reflected in two things. Firstly, hype brings volume. Secondly, a market that's in bullish momentum brings volume, and the hype has faded, and the bullish momentum has certainly faded. So that accounts for a drop in the volume. Worth bearing in mind, it's on 63,000 people's watch lists at the moment, and it's got a market cap of 362 million. So that wouldn't even put it in the top. That wouldn't put it in the top 100 at all, and that's worth bearing in mind because there's a lot of coins in the top 100 and have a smaller watch list than that. So worth bearing in mind. Now, there's a few concerns with regards to Chia Network, but I'm going to get into them. So, part of the reason for the proof of space and time mechanism and the pre-mining that they have done, and they have done a lot of pre-mining, is to ensure that there isn't the risk of like a 51% attack. Now, so here we go. So the proof of work, the problem with proof of work that Chia contends is obviously the energy expenditure. Now, we know as well with Bitcoin, there's a hell of a lot of that that's used with renewable, and that is slowly but surely continuing over time. Proof of stake, however, they don't believe that the safety of the model is adequate. They believe that there's potential that nations can attack that, right? The statement was that it's not a security against nation states and other threats. Hence the proof of space and time. And the three key issues that it cites in terms of proof of stake is centralization, where tokens tend to concentrate among a few giants, long-range attacks, where the history of the chain can be revised more easily than in proof of work, and the inability of proof of stake networks to recover from a 51% attack. And we got to be fair, that's a real valid argument that a 51% attack. It's staggering to me Ethereum Classic is still even here. It's had 3 51% attacks, and that was just in 1 month. Just in 1 month. And that's a problem in terms of how can you trust a blockchain mechanism that's so susceptible to attacks. It really is staggering to me that Ethereum Classic continues to be there. So yeah, and it's always unaffected. It's very, very odd. Very, very odd. So you get Chia Network, you can get the point in terms of protecting themselves from that. Okay. Now, the major concern for me, because they're citing centralization as a big issue, but they pre-mined 50. So this was an article written by someone called MyBed54, I think. Yeah. And there's there's a point to be made, and this is completely valid. You can double check it. The information's here. But the farming rewards are going to take 21 years for the cumulative number of farm Chia to be more than the amount created at launch by the Chia Strategic Reserve. So essentially half the total supply is pre-mined and 97% of the current supply. So that means half was pre-mined and went to the Strategic Reserve. Now they say that they're not going to dump it, right? They can't sell any coins without 90 days notice. to the public. But after 90 days, they can dump, right? But in terms of centralization, that's a bit of a problem if 50% is effectively held by a strategic reserve. Then you also have to factor in that this company is going public. So the whole point is that, where is it? Right. We can use the pre-farm to raise capital that only dilutes the shareholders and not the farmers, was the statement. But the shareholders, it's owned by the company and subject to significant corporate controls that will only get more teeth as and when we go public. The provisions the company is committed to require it to only use its stash of XCH in a way that benefits XCH holders, as in Chia. Now that to me isn't overly comforting. There's some serious positives about Chia Network. Not only the team and the man behind it, the innovation of the proof of space and time, and like I say, there's a couple other coins out there doing that. Filecoin's obviously one, but when you've got a company effectively in control of it, and we've not seen companies act ethically over time, in the same way we don't see banks act ethically over time. It's something that puts me off somewhat. So I wouldn't necessarily be overly interested in buying Chia Network right now. Looking at downloading the Mac or the Windows version is probably what I'd do. If you're interested in this, if you download the Windows or the Mac, whatever you've got, download the version and just work through it and see what you can earn over the course of time. That's probably a more beneficial way, unless obviously the market has a really massive retracement. Although look at that, it's quite positive. It's gone up about $400 in the time I've been doing this video. But unless Chia Network goes, unless like if the market has a huge another big correction, everything will suffer. So you might have a buying opportunity for Chia. If you look at like Internet Computer, it's down to like $50, but when it wasn't that long ago, it was up at 100, 150, 200 odd. So there might be an opportunity there, but I know there's a lot of people that are buying dips, and there's a lot of people that are really hesitant to enter into the market right now. A short-term plan in terms of seeing how much you can earn over the course of a year might be worth installing the Chia Network software and seeing what you can earn with the proof of space and time mechanism. Because if you can sit on it and forget about it and just have it constantly running in the background, you might be able to earn something. It's going to take 21 years for the amount of Chia to be replicated. And they're saying that the self-reported supply is that. That sounds wrong to me, especially given that they've got but even if it's that, even if it's going to take 21 years to match that, that's fine. That means there's some real price potential. Don't know how much you'll get, but it's worth a look. But like I said, that concern of the potential dump when you've got a company that doesn't necessarily act ethically, as we have seen multiple occasions, with multiple scam coins as well. And I'm not for a moment, by the way, suggesting this is a scam coin, but that is of concern. You have to really trust a company to act ethically. And I think the reason that most of us are in crypto is that we don't, right? So, but yeah, their green paper is really worth a read. So I would recommend you take a look at that. Like I say, me personally, I'm not going to get into this right now, but I am probably going to install the software and just have a little play around just to see what is earned. But that's more for curiosity than as an investment. I do like the proof of space and time mechanism though, and I do like the fact that they're not going to suffer a 51% attack. That's a large reason was the biggest reason I never got into Ethereum Classic, is that I just expected that at some point would affect the price. I'm staggered that it never really has. But yeah, so in the comments, what do you think about Chia Network? let me know. And as always, guys, if you're brand new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. The link is in the description. It's the perfect way for you to get started in crypto. Or if you're currently in crypto, you might see some opportunities within my portfolio that you didn't consider. All right, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.